I think we were at our applicable collective community court focus here. Action among qualified electors in propagating our larger American organic body politic, forming responsibly self-governing communities that have constitutionally recognizable and lawful authority to exercise exclusive jurisdiction concerning the manner in which the force of our peace officers will be exercised in our townships and precincts. The previous text from the Book of Numbers, the citation from Exodus, and the general tradition of common law, that the linkages that Mr. Blackstone points out, and our previous studies on the constitutional authority of town constables and justices of the peace in the precincts, these all affirm that we've got exclusive jurisdiction at the grassroots level, and federal and state authorities have no authority to come marching in to our townships and our precincts with their muddy boots and screwing things up. And this is where I would like for this conference to develop a consensus that we need to be doing this grassroots empowerment of our local communities, especially our town constable peace officers, to carry guns and badges and to be prepared for any criminals that try to act outside of lawful authority within their jurisdiction. Here before I can conclude, I went to a little bit of conjecture of how this might be applied. This leadership's chair suggests high priority to build local community empowerment through specifically the over 3,000 county sheriff's offices in our USA. This would be a second goal also of dismantling and reorganizing our American national military-industrial complex, and that's big. Our entire military American industrial complex should be under the control of county sheriffs. Please, got noise in the background. Please ignore that. This agenda would include timeline goals for the complete reassignment of all personnel under the control of all personnel who are presently under the control of the executive department of our municipal American government, and these would all be assigned to the sheriffs in our counties. I really think this is a beautiful idea. These sheriffs are supposed to have the 1,000 communities of the Exodus 18 model, and the sheriffs are the most clearly recognizable office under common law jurisdiction in our American nation, so it would be bridging all of our military to industrial complex over under the authorities of the sheriffs, and that's promoting a common law empowerment agenda, and I think that's really, really important. And here under, all executive military personnel and armaments and all FBI, DOJ, IRS, and similar agencies would be reassigned to the sheriff's departments, which might reasonably be expected to benefit the most therefrom, while reasonably balanced with the long-term goal of maintaining common law recognizable peace. So, in efforts to promote peace, I would advocate that these biblical Torah law principles mandate the dismantling of our entire military-industrial complex, and this plugs into what Bill and Brad, especially Bill, and some of the others, I think, have been talking about, catering to the international banking cartel that is closely intertwined with the military-industrial complex. We don't need to be catering to them. Bill is way goofy in trying to cater to the present banking monopoly system, with its system of clearinghouses that are all monopolized and controlled by the Babylonian Holy Roman Empire jurisdiction. We need to break away from that. We've got authority through the Uniform Commercial Code to create our own alternative economic system, and Bill just does not seem to comprehend that. Anyway, continuing on. Many implications other than executive department reorganizing instantly manifest through applying these profound biblical Torah law principles. Any community so collectively directed to self-govern through modern application of these principles would thereby want to form their own Supreme Court, which would promote responsibly self-governing through these biblical Torah law principles as continued on through our common law tradition. They would form a process which is due to all constituent body politic members in our entire U.S. American nation, and hereunder we need leadership in the form of 12 princes of Israel, so that it's not just Charles Stewart jabbering this stuff, it's other people saying yes. We need to form our own responsibly self-governing communities, similarly as the 12 princes of Israel, similar as King Arthur's 12 knights of the Round Table in common law tradition. And hereby, hopefully, we can modernly apply these mandates of heaven to find leaders that are capable of serving the people at whatever level of government that they are comfortable assuming. And we have desperate need for leadership that is competent in these areas. And these men would be lawfully authorized to administer acts of force, sufficient to obtain and reasonably propagate truth, justice, and safety and peace among our American people. This is what is the mandate of heaven, is truth, justice, safety, and peace among our people. These would be men similar as described in Exodus 18, who would be men of truth, hating covetousness. These are good words. The biblical model mandate can be applied modernly by both left-wingers and right-wingers with equal enthusiasm if their hearts and spirits are pure and their motives are honorable. And that's basically my conclusion of my presentation of Section 3 here on enforcement and empowerment through our peace officers and organizing posse comitatus. And at that point, I'd like to break for comments and questions. I yield.